Welcome to U.S. Security Associates Baggage Inspection Training. In this unit, we will outline the correct procedures for employee exit inspections. Let's cover our course objectives. After this session, you will be able to define the term baggage inspection, understand the significance of an inspection versus a search, learn USA policy on inspections, identify the basic steps for conducting an inspection, and learn correct procedures for dealing with an uncooperative employee. First, let's define the term baggage inspection and discuss its basic purpose. A baggage inspection involves inspecting employees' personal carry items upon their exiting the facility each day so that we can check for stolen merchandise. The basic purpose is to deter or prevent internal theft. By having a checkpoint set up at employee exit, we can prevent or deter potentially dishonest employees from attempting to steal merchandise in the first place or to catch them if they do. Some facilities require a baggage check prior to someone entering a facility. The primary objective of this is to prevent someone from coming in with a weapon or an IED. For the context of this course, we're going to focus mainly on employee exit procedures. Now let's look at the term inspection versus a search. As a U.S. Security Associates officer, you're going to be performing visual inspections. There's absolutely no touching of the person or their belongings. Here you'll notice the security officer is asking the employee to take items out of his carry bag so that he can see what is in there. Compare this to a typical airport or TSA agent search where here you have the agent actually physically rummaging through the bag while the person watches. So that is absolutely not what we can do. So TSA and government agents may conduct physical searches, including pat-downs and body searches. We cannot.
I would now like to share our company policy on these inspections. First, security officers have no legal authority to physically search. In other words, put your hands on the person or their property or to seize property. Police officers do under certain circumstances. As a security officer, you do not. If you have knowledge of stolen goods, contraband, or any other illegal activity, your only course of action is to contact your supervisor and/or law enforcement. Security officers may only conduct an inspection. We don't use the word search. An inspection on behalf of the client with that person's consent.
It's important to know that at any facility where you may be conducting employee exit baggage inspections, the client's going to have an established policy stating that regular inspections will be performed. There will be signs posted, and employees will be told upon hire that as a condition of employment, they have to submit to a baggage check. So simply put, if the employee wants to continue to work there, they have to cooperate with the inspection. So, employees subject to inspection in this case do so voluntarily, and no force whatsoever can be applied if they refuse the inspection. In this case, you would simply report the incident, then let management take it from there. Again, there is absolutely no touching of the person or their belongings. Now we'll begin covering some of the basic procedures for conducting these inspections. First, let's look at some of the typical items that we're going to inspect. That can include purses, briefcases, suitcases, camera or computer bags, backpacks, lunch pails or lunch bags, etc. Anything that could possibly conceal stolen merchandise. Now, let's look at the actual procedure for inspection. Politely ask the person to open their purse, briefcase, luggage, whatever it is that they're carrying, for inspection. If there are any items that are obstructing your view, politely ask the person to move or reposition the items. Again, you don't touch the items yourself, you ask them to. In the case of a large briefcase or purse, you may ask the person to place their items on a table for your review. Again, you want to check very carefully for any stolen merchandise. We're going to now show a brief video clip showing the inspection process.
Open your purse, backpack, briefcase, or package. You may also be required to empty bulky pockets or packages where the contents cannot be observed. The personnel search is non-obtrusive, and the security officer will not touch anyone.
It's important that you familiarize yourself with the items that are most prone to theft at your facility. Again, we're focusing on relatively high dollar and easy to conceal items. Some examples can include tools, various electronic devices, cosmetics, perfumes, pharmaceuticals of any type, whether actual pharmacy-grade materials or over-the-counter, can be very prone to internal theft. Now let's talk about what to do if you find a suspected stolen item. First, follow your site-specific procedures to the letter. We have to be very careful to stick to our site's post orders to stay within proper legal parameters. This generally involves questioning the employee about the item to make sure that there isn't a possible misunderstanding. If you strongly suspect that an item is stolen, at that point you would want to inform your supervisor, and you need to know your site's policy on detentions. At some sites you may be asked to verbally detain the employee or ask them to wait to speak to the supervisor. In other cases, you just let them go, but you verbally report the incident and follow up with a very detailed written report. Now we'll talk about how to handle a potentially uncooperative employee. This would be quite rare, since, as we mentioned earlier, employees are told as a condition of hire that their belongings are subject to inspection each and every day. But it could so happen you have someone who's just having a bad day, or they may be about to quit, or maybe about to be fired, and that's when something like this can happen. So, you want to politely remind the employee of the company policy. And don't attempt to be forceful or engage in any kind of an argument. If they don't want to cooperate, you simply allow the employee to leave, inform your supervisor, and follow up with a detailed incident report. Here are some important details to gather for your incident report in the event of an uncooperative employee. You want to get the employee's name, their department that they work in, their title, time of incident, and an accurate narrative of the conversation that took place between you and them. A description of the subject's actions and whether any threats were made, any foul language, things of that nature. And then the conclusion, the outcome, what ended up happening, who you contacted, the conclusion of the event. So be very detailed from the beginning to the end and accurately describe what happened. Now, to wrap up this training, here's a very important point to remember. As a U.S. Security Associates Officer, we must maintain a customer service attitude at all times. The employees that we're inspecting are actually our internal customers, so we must at all times treat them with respect, dignity and cordiality, no matter how they may act towards you. We never want to come across as if we're some sort of hard-nosed bouncer or someone on a power trip.